Hello there everyone, welcome back to Coding Rail, and in this video we'll be talking about how we can add any class object into ArrayList, and also we'll be see how we can use generic with collection or ArrayList. So let's get started. So let's create one Java class with public static void main method. Let's name it as ArrayList 2. Now here I want public static void main method. As I told you, here we will add any class object. So for that also we need one class where we will add some properties like variable, methods, and that class will be related to a student. So let's create one more class. We'll call as student. Here no need to add any public static void main method because this class will be a POJO class. POJO class means where we can set the data and where we can get the data. So here the setter method and getter method will be there where we can set our variables, and variable should be in private modifier. So here we have to add property of students. Make sure it should be private variable. So private string name, this would be our first variable, student name. Private int age, string error, typo. Private string address. So here we have variable for our student. Here in the Eclipse we have option to generate setter and getter method for our POJO class, and you can also write with your own, but I will show you both how we can do this. So just right click on with mouse, go to source, and here you can search for generate setter and getter here. So just click on that, address, age, name, yes. Public, here everything is looking good, generate. So guys, here you can say, here we have get name. If we will call this method, this will return name, and set name. We have to pass one parameter with method set name, so it will initialize name variable. So same for all. So this is how it works. If you'll generate setter and getter method, so don't do this right now because we want to create with our own. So public void, here we will say set data. Instead of using separate method for each element, we will use single method, and here we will pass parameter as name, int as age, and address as string, and here we will say this dot name equal to name. So I think you know that this keyword what will do, it will just take the current address and initialize this name with local variable. Whatever the data present in local name variable, local means inside this method, it will pass into this class object name variable. So this is the work of this keyword, age, address. So that's it guys. In this way you can set your data. and for getting the each element we will be generating separate methods for each element. So here we have to make sure the return time should be related to variable data type. So public string get name, no parameter, we will just return name, that's it. Public and get age, return age, public string get address, return address. So here we have our Pojo class. This is we called as Pojo class. So just save it for now. Go to ArrayList 2 Java, close this class. Now here we have to set this property, we have to set this variable. First we will create main object here, that is ArrayList object. So list equals to list ArrayList. It's showing error because we have to import ArrayList. So just press Control Shift and O. It will import that particular class. So here we have ArrayList object. Just we need to add parameters to student class. So let's create object for 5 students and we will pass their name, age and address. Student S1 student. Here we have 5 student class object. Here we have to set data for each class. Set data, name, let's say Rohit, age would be 20, address we can say Mumbai. So here our first student data is set now. Copy and paste it 4 times. S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. Now let's say second student name is Anil. His age is 25. He is staying in Delhi. Here we have set all the parameters of particular students. Now here we have to make sure that we have to add these student object into ArrayList. Just call add method. So as you can see, the parameter type is object. Okay, so whatever we will add here, it will convert into object type. But we have student type. We have class and object as a student type. So we'll see how we can do that. 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the data and object inserted into ArrayList. Now here retrieve the data from ArrayList. So let's import it with most common way with for loop. For loop. Now here you need to focus. If I'll write here student, because I want object as a student type, because I know I have added student object. So if I'll retrieve, that should be in student data type. List, because I want to import from list. So it's showing error, the type mismatch, cannot convert from element type object to student. So as I told you, whatever we are adding, that data type is object. So as you can see, the data type we are adding as object here. So to make it as student data types, there is something called as generic. So as you can see, reference to generic data type ArrayList A should be parameterized. Means if you will make this ArrayList as a generic type, so you can insert your own data type object. So if I'll write here student, make sure So this is the keyword for generic data type. Here also you need to add this sign here. So this is the way you just initialize your array list with generic type. Here you have added student sign, and you can see here the error has gone. Now see, if I'll write here something as string, so here we will get error, multiple marks at the line, blah 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 blah, because the object is student type, and what we are saying to array list, you should have a string type of data. That is not correct, right? So if I'll pass here something in string form, so you can see this error has gone. So it came again. So let's make it student. For importing each element, we have to use this variable. So let's say, let's create one variable called I as 1. This will be for student serial number, student 1, oh sorry, I, student 1 detail. So here we need to read those data. Here we will call name, so o dot, so as you can see it's getting student class method because o is having student object. So get name, copy, this would be address, and increment I. For good presentation, we can add new line here. Here we have added all the element into student class. So let's run the program and let's see what output we are getting. So bingo, as you can see here, student 1 detail is Rohit. We have added here student 2 detail Anil, 3 same, blah 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 blah. So this is working very fine. So let's say if I'll add any object again s2, so what will happen? Because you know ArrayList support duplicate data or duplicate object, so it should read also here for second 2 but student 6. Let's say again, so it's working, student 6 and our student 2 was Anil. Here is Anil again. You are getting well. So I hope you are getting all the concepts here with generic and any class object with ArrayList. I'll see you again. Bye.